All right, what's going on, guys? It's Spencer Hart from the Squared Circle Podcast, joined by Max Beatty, of course. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
And this is just a little behind the scenes here for just a little bit. We
are
going to be attempting something today. We are going to be attempting something today we have not attempted before. It's been attempted before. Sorry, I had the YouTube page running behind me, and all of a sudden I could hear myself. So we're going to be attempting to have a live forum episode here today of the Squared Circle Podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweet out the link to this to the show right now on Twitter. There it goes, and on of course one of our great Facebook pages, Extreme Wrestle Entertainment, and send out the link there. There it goes. So let's go ahead and start the show. This should be an interesting one today, Max. So let's start off. This is the Squared Circle Podcast, Spreaker.com, iTunes Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, Turnbuckle Productions on YouTube, and IWNerd.com. All right, so now let's start off with a couple of housekeeping issues. We've been off the air for a long time, actually. It's been well over a week, and maybe we should explain where we've been. It's been a long week.
Wow.
We, of course, were at Monday Night Raw on Monday. And we had just an amazing time. We were right in the front row of the ramp. Really, for my first Monday Night Raw, it was honestly one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. So, Max, do you have headphones by chance?
Why? What's up?
I can hear myself feedbacking in your microphone.
Oh, hold on one second.
All right. But yeah, we should certainly talk about AJ Styles. We have to talk about AJ Styles. AJ Styles, first of all, the heel turn out of nowhere. Holy crap. I don't know what to say about it. It was so shocking that I don't know, Max. What do you think?
I mean, the only real issue I had with it is that the week before they had the whole breakup thing with him in the club. So it's like, well, did something happen in between? Was that them work, kayfabe work kind of thing where they were screwing with everybody? It's, I guess to me, it's like I felt like a scene got cut, and I just want an explanation as to what happened. But that point aside, holy shit, there was some hate in that beatdown.
Yeah,
just going back over and over, and I was like, I'm not done yet. Okay, he's like half dead. No, I'm not done yet. One more time. Okay. I think he's bleeding internally now. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, John Cena really took a beating from AJ Styles. I think AJ went back twice in the span. Yeah, 2-3 times in the span of that whole shot. And phew. I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I think the WWE Universe is excited, as completely shown while we were there. The Let's Go Cena AJ Styles chant for about 2.5 minutes. That was an honor, I think, to be a part of. Whole AJ Styles John Cena chant, one of the greatest chants I think I've heard in a long time, like back and forth chants.
And I did really kind of appreciate when they both kind of like pointed it out, like I've been waiting for this for a long time. By the sound of it, I think they have too, and it's like not for this match in particular, but it's kind of one of those moments where it's like I didn't know I wanted this.
You didn't know you wanted it till it happened.
It's kind of like, did you see that video that I think WWE posted? It was like backstage interview thing with like AJ Styles discussing what had just happened. Have you seen that?
No, I have not yet.
Okay, it's completely, in kayfabe, he's in character and everything, but he did say that he did call it like a dream match, which again, it was one of those things I didn't know I wanted, so I don't know if I'd call it a dream match, but he also said that, he and the club are, basically united, and that he will explain everything on Monday because, people have been going, why, AJ, why? And I think most people have either been, screaming in hatred or, just over and over, bowing.
And I mean, they certainly dubbed over the audio on like their YouTube page and stuff for the because he was getting mass cheers. They're big pop for when AJ turned on Cena.
I think we were like in a section with like a lot of kids because while we were there, I heard a lot of cheers for Cena and a lot of boos for Styles when it was happening. But I think if we'd been watching it live at home, or if we'd just been in another section of the crowd, it would have been, we could have actually heard, oh, it's like, boo, yeah, Styles! You'd still hear both, but it's, yeah, so anyway.
Yeah, it was honestly really, really cool. So, moving on, the next thing I want to talk about here is the whole segment with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I think what happened is Seth Rollins, from our point of view, Seth Rollins was running down to the ramp and then running back up the ramp. He went back about 4 or 5 times, just trying to psych Roman up. But from our angle, we were sitting in the ramp area looking at the ring. So all we couldn't see Seth's face. So the only thing we could see was Seth Rollins running, stopping, and then running back and forth about 8 or 9 times. Well, it seemed like 8 or 9 times. It was about 4. But my problem is the whole thing with Seth Rollins, where he's running down to the ramp, stops, and then runs back about 4 or 5 times. From our angle, it looked like he was stopping out of fear.
Have you seen the reverse footage, though?
Yes, and I was just about to say, Max and I had a very vivid discussion about this, where it made Seth seem like a coward.
Yeah, we were not happy.
We were not happy because of our angle. Looking at the reverse angle, looking at Seth's face, I think it paints a very different picture.
Mm-hmm.
I think it paints the picture of Seth trying to get in Roman's head.
Like he's screwing with him.
Right. And it makes complete sense. Seth was gone for 6 months, 8 months, whatever. And excuse me. And yeah, I think he's just trying to get in Roman's head, and I don't know. I think it may be working. I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best tactic to get into Roman's head,
Yeah, I mean, Roman Reigns at the same time, nothing can affect Roman Reigns. I think that's a bad thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, lately he has been, capable of getting really pissed off. And you can tell even when he's doing the whole, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy. Even when he's doing that, I don't know if it's like supposed to be the character being irritated or if he's just getting irritated with the fans or what it is. But even when he says that, he seems pissed, So I don't know. I think in some way he's showing more emotion, whether that's just a natural over part of him getting through it from being, genuinely irritated with the situation, or if he's finally learning how to act.
I hope so. I mean, Roman Reigns, he's not good on the mic. I mean, I'm starting to like him. I really am. But at the same time, it's just I don't know. I don't think Roman's very good on the mic.
I mean, neither do I. I don't think he's the best, which is why I'm kind of glad that most of the time, especially of late, his promos have been kind of short, Mm-hmm. No, nothing very long form or anything like that. And I appreciate that because I don't think he's so much bad on the mic. I think he's bad at carrying a longer promo. If he were in movies, he'd be the kind of actor who, yeah, he'd play the same role over and over, but he'd be really, really good at it. He'd always be that actor who's known for, the stone-faced, cold, kind of jaded badass, And I think that's kind of what they're trying to go for, and I think it's starting to come through. It's just when he starts to speak for long periods of time, it starts to fall apart a little bit. He can't quite carry that persona verbally.
He can't carry the promo. Yeah, he can't carry the promo.
Which is that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you just if they were to just cut down on what he's doing, cut down on what he's saying, and direct it and focus it a bit more, it'd be fun. No problem. It's just when they make him, he's not really rambling, but it starts to sound like he is.
Yeah, it really does. So the next thing I want to talk about here is a story that broke within the last 16, 18 hours. And that is going to be Brock fucking Lesnar is going to be fighting at UFC 200. Now, we don't cover UFC here on the Squared Circle.
I mean, I don't even watch UFC.
But I think we're going to watch UFC 200.
I mean, I won't lie. I have watched UFC before, not in the most legitimate of fashions. But the only things I ever watched were the Ronda Rousey matches, because I actually liked her. I thought, just not like even as a fighter, just her as a person. I thought she was kind of interesting, and I figured, okay, if I'm gonna be interested in this person, I should at least know what they're good at. So I checked out a couple matches, and I went, wow, these things are over so quickly. I don't have time to get bored.
Well,
so
I mean, like,
that was the only time I watched.
Right. I mean, I rented my first UFC. I've just recently started watching UFC. I rented UFC 198, and the UFC Heavyweight Championship match lasted a minute and 4 seconds, and that was the main event. It was a quick knockout. But it's like, as much as I like watching a grown-ass man fall to the ground cold, I mean, it was kind of a little disappointing.
Yeah, I know, but the one thing I remember though, when Brock first came back to WWE, was I didn't have too many friends at the time that at least I knew were into UFC and MMA and all that stuff. But I remember hearing from a lot of pages and hearing from a couple people that at least casually followed UFC when I went, oh yeah, Brock Lesnar's back. Oh, you mean that guy that just like had back-to-back losses? And I was just like, wait, what? wait, excuse me, what? They paint him like he's this unstoppable, conquering juggernaut. He's like going into like this match with Cena at Extreme Rules, and they're like, oh, yeah. Like he was a champion and he won some pretty impressive victories, but like lost at the beginning, lost at the end. Oh, wow, they failed to mention that. Yeah. I kind of wonder if at any point, like during whatever he does, is he having a match at UFC 200? Or?
Yeah, he's having a fight. He's fighting somebody.
Okay.
They haven't
announced who.
No, they haven't announced who yet. But confirmed. By UFC and WWE. WWE signed off on it. He's still under contract with WWE.
Wow.
So Vince and Co. signed off on it, and that's kind of why I want to talk about this here too. This makes me think there's some deal between Dana and Vince about Ronda Rousey. Dare I say it? It makes me think like they may have struck a deal. Like,
that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, like you can use Brock if we can have Ronda. Because, Ronda Rousey was involved in that WrestleMania 31 segment with The Rock and Trips and Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you could make a pretty good mixed tag match out of that.
Well, I won't lie. Like right now, I'm like in my head fantasy booking like her wrestling career. I'm just saying, boom. First thing you do, finish up that shit with Stephanie. Like she just wrecked Stephanie McMahon. I say you drag that out for 5 minutes, and it's like Lesnar versus Cena for the title, one-sided, except shorter. And then you start bringing up, slowly some of the NXT women that are viably ready, Bayley, Asuka, et cetera. And meanwhile, over the course of the next few weeks, you just sort of have Ronda murder/devour the current Divas roster. Sorry, women's roster. And then you bring up all the NXT women, and then at some point you give me Kana versus Ronda Rousey, and I'm just happy forever.
And you just die forever.
Like, I'm good. I don't need anything else. This is going to be amazing. They're going to kill each other, possibly literally.
Yeah, so the whole Brock Lesnar thing makes me think there may be some backstage deal between Vince and Dana. which will be interesting to see. I mean, July 9th is UFC 200, so I'm pretty excited about that. We'll probably watch it somewhere. We'll probably get together with Chris and AJ and rent it or something. So moving forward, I want to look forward to NXT TakeOver The End. First of all, a little nervous about the title.
Glad I'm not the only one. It's like, oh, NXT TakeOver. Oh, it's just TakeOver. Well, they don't need names. That's fine. NXT TakeOver The End. And my first thought was, okay, well, it's probably going to be the end of at least a couple feuds. I mean, that would make sense. Wait a minute, what? Okay, this has become terrifying. What
about the brand extension? What?
Oh, look, the Sword of Damocles, and it's just dangling over me. When did that show up?
Yeah, it makes me just a tad nervous about NXT. Because NXT is just the shit. It really is.
Oh my god, it is.
What do you think the end means?
Well, I think for starters, it could just simply, be a dramatic title. I mean, NXT's done things like that before where they, use a name or a concept and it's just for the sake of it. It's just to add dramatic flair, give it weight, stuff like that. So for starters, it could be literally nothing. On the other hand, it could also, be like, oh, this is, going to be the final end to this Samoa Joe Finn Balor situation because it, through, the bleeding in that one match, some of just the excitement for Prince Devitt versus Samoa Joe, how long this has gone on for, the Lowell, Massachusetts thing. I mean, you could see it as like, okay, this has been one of the biggest feuds in NXT's history, especially for a title. So it could just be the end of that. Beyond that, like a couple dozen different things.
Yeah, I'm very nervous about what it means. I don't know. We're 3 days away from NXT TakeOver, The End, and I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this yet. And we'll be having a show probably on Tuesday, right before NXT TakeOver, to make our picks. And I don't know, man. It's just the timing. The timing with this whole brand extension.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this. I just clicked over and I looked at these the match card, and I'm starting to think maybe it won't mean like anything like big and dramatic necessarily for NXT. The reason why I bring this up is because of if you go from the matches going from the last one listed to the top, you got Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Aries, Asuka Naya, Alpha versus Revival. Andre Cien Almas, a.k.a. La Sombra, is making his debut. Why would they do something so dramatic as to, overhaul NXT or possibly end it or merge it with some part of the brand extension when they're debuting at least a semi-big wrestler?
I guess that's
any wrestler for that matter.
I guess that's a fair point, yeah.
And they've been hyping his debut, too.
Yeah, they really have.
So, I don't think it's going to necessarily mean anything big or dramatic in terms of how NXT works or something to do with the brand extension. But I do think something is going to happen. Something's going to end in some way.
Yeah. Hearing that makes me a little more at ease. Because I forgot about La Sombra. I completely forgot about him. But yeah, it's curious about the whole the end thing. So
yeah,
so
where it goes. But like I said, I don't think it'll be anything huge.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna just keep on talking about some things that we've been gone for the last week. So we'll take a quick break, come back, and we will keep on talking right here on the Squared Circle. Mana. Do.
Do.
That's an adorable little Pepsi bottle or Dr. Pepper bottle you have.
Shut up. Actually, getting like 6 packs of these is actually really cheap. And for
Yeah?
some reason, I think maybe it's just like a psychological, subconscious thing. Because they're smaller, I drink them a lot faster. Obviously, that last one's a bad example. But usually I
Yeah.
drink them a lot slower, I should say. And I don't know. Like, we bought like 2 or 3 of these like 3 weeks ago.
Not bad.
And they're only like I don't remember where we fucking got them. They're only like $1.50 for 6 of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what's next on our list? What else are we talking about here today?
I don't know. Didn't Cody Rhodes have his first match announced?
Yeah, he's going up against Michael Bennett.
What promotion is he going for?
I think it's Ring of Honor.
Are you serious?
Let me double check. I thought that was it.
I'm looking this up myself, you know. Independent circuit. Here we go. Rhodes revealed the list he wanted to check off once his no complete cost of WWE expires in August 19th.
Oh, no, it's Evolve.
Okay. Evolve, August 19th. It's literally going to be on the day that his no compete clause expires.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. The same day it was announced that Rhodes, with his wife, would face off against Michael Bennett and Maria Kanellis at Wrestling Under the Stars. Wow. So I guess we should refer to her as Brandy now because she's no longer with WWE either. So
yeah.
Wow. I mean, he and Randy are actually. That's. I wonder if she's just gonna be. I wonder if she's gonna be more involved in his career now. Because
one can hope.
I mean, because I don't have a problem with that. I mean, honestly, I think that'll. I mean, if anyone's gonna have great chemistry on screen together, it's gonna be an actual real life couple.
Right, and I've always attested to that. All right, so the other thing I think I want to talk about is the Seth Rollins documentary. Have you had a chance to watch it yet?
No.
Oh.
Highly recommended?
Yes.
The one thing I've been hearing... Here, I'll bring this up when we talk about it, actually.
Okay. Let's come back here.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the Squared Circle Podcast, Spreaker.com, iTunes Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, Turnbuckle Productions on YouTube, and IWNerd.com. All right, so we were talking during the break about Cody Rhodes and how Cody Rhodes, his no compete clause is set to expire on August 19th. Ironically, that's when his first match is announced at Evolve. Against Michael Bennett and Maria, what's her name? Maria Kanellis. Thank you.
There you go.
I always get her and Mauro Ranallo screwed up somehow. I don't know.
How do you get Mauro Ranallo screwed up with Maria Kanellis?
Statistics. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have to fucking look for. Can you believe this shit? Can you believe this shit?
Can you believe this shit? No, it's been announced that it's going to be Cody Rhodes and Brandy. Thank you.
Yeah, her full real
name is Brandy.
Her full real name is Brandy Alexis Rummels. Her maiden name.
Wow, that's adorable.
Yeah, her maiden name is Reed, apparently. And I guess she's
Reed?
Reed.
Oh, Reed.
Reed. There you go.
I thought you said weed. I was like, oh, okay.
No, but it doesn't say when I look under it, and I looked under both of their pages and whatnot, it doesn't say anything about her wrestling, and I'm guessing since there's nothing on her ever having training or even interest in actually getting in the ring, I'm guessing she's just going to be like guest ring announcer, his valet, etc.,
manager, yeah,
that kind of thing. Which is completely fine. She's got a lot of charisma, and she's obviously been an on-screen presence before. Honestly, I'm all for stuff like this. I mean, I've always said that whether it's in films, TV, even video games, or wrestling, the best on-screen chemistry from actors usually comes from people who are actually already in a real life relationship. No duh. I mean, go-to example for me is actually I love the movie. I know a lot of people didn't, but I loved the 2012 Amazing Spider-Man movie, and I even kind of liked its sequel. And I think one of the reasons why those two, I forget what was the name of the woman who played Gwen Stacy, Emma Stone.
Yes.
Why she and Andrew Garfield had such great on-screen chemistry as Peter and Gwen was because, well, they're a real-life couple. I mean, they started dating while filming the first movie, and they're still together. So it's like,
yeah, I completely agree. You know, you could even make a case for Lana and Rusev. I mean, their on-screen chemistry is amazing because, well, so
WWE will ruin your career, but will bring you love.
Yeah, let's start spreading that rumor.
Single, lonely, trying to find a hookup, join pro wrestling.
We'll find you a shitty relationship. No.
Wow.
Hey, Squared Circle approved. Nothing but class here on the Squared Circle podcast. So,
winging for the cheap seats.
So the next thing I'll talk about here is this beautiful, beautiful man right here, Seth Rollins. Just an amazing story. I mean, Max, you told me that you have not seen the documentary yet for Seth Rollins on WWE 24 on the network.
That is correct. But the one thing I've been hearing is that after watching it, people have been going, why the fuck didn't you bring him back as a face? Like, this thing paints him, like, it uses the real guy, so Colby Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
But it just paints him like such a fucking, like, not necessarily like a resilient badass or anything, but like that I'm never giving up, I'm never giving in, I want to get back to doing the thing I love, I miss the fans, I miss the ring, yada yada yada. It's just, it paints him in such a positive light that it's like, why would you ever release this during a heel run? Like, turn him face in a couple months and then put it out or something, or I don't know, just keep turning face, I don't know.
Yeah. It really was quite amazing watching Seth from the day he got injured, you know, when he got his surgery, when he first went to rehab, when he's doing rehab, when he really, really wanted to get back to WrestleMania, and just watching the devastation when he was told he wasn't going to be able to make it in time. Just watching that, it hurt. It really did. It hurt watching this, you know, this real person just be so frustrated with himself because he couldn't make it for WrestleMania 32.
To miss out on like the biggest thing in the thing that he does and loves.
Yeah, and like he was doing autographs at WrestleMania Access, and he said you know, people kept asking him, any chance you're gonna be turning up at WrestleMania 32? And you know, he has to tell the fans, well, you never know, things could happen. When he really knows that.
It ain't happening.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Leave me alone. And that's no offense to Seth, but that's how it kind of came across. Knowing that he wasn't going to make it, it's like, you know, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear it. And it made you feel bad for Seth because he really wanted to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of like, look, I just literally shredded my knee apart. I had to have major surgery on it. I literally couldn't walk out of the ring. Do you think I'm going to be back? Do you think I want to be reminded? Yeah, sure, totally, thanks.
Yeah, so, but yeah, Seth Rollins, it really does blow the mind after watching this documentary that why would they bring him back as a face or as a heel? It blows the mind that I'd love to be a fly in the room in one of the WWE creative writing days, because I'm pretty sure all they do is just bark at each other and throw shit at each other. Because
occasionally they all stop and just go,
Roman.
Oh my god.
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy.
We have such a high opinion of these living, breathing people.
Yep, these are human beings we are talking about, people.
Woo! We are the best.
Yeah, and maybe that, maybe we'll all get what we've always hoped for, and we'll get a double turn at Money in the Bank.
Oh my God, I would forgive him for so much.
Highly unlikely that that's going to happen, though.
We'll get it. No wait, we get a double turn in the Cena Styles match.
A man can dream.
Sorry, I had to throw it out there. Hey, Heisenberg did have the uncertainty principle. Anything is mathematically possible.
So yeah, let's go back to Cena and Styles real quick, because I want to talk about this too. People on the internet have been complaining that, AJ Styles is going to job out to John Cena again. He's going to lose to John Cena, and he's just going to bury the club. And you and I have had this discussion as well. I don't necessarily know that AJ Styles is going to lose at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, well, he's a heel. They turned him heel so he can, cheat to win or shenanigans. Here's the thing. John Cena has lost completely clean before, and people, go, oh yeah, like when he tapped out to Kurt Angle, like in 2003. No, I'm not talking about that. Lost clean to Kevin Owens once, and yeah, I know he got his heat back twice over, but it still happened. He lost clean to Lesnar in, quote, the most one-sided match in WWE history, and never really got his heat back from that. He's been gone for 6 months. AJ Styles is in the best shape of his career, probably the best shape of his life. And I'm not even talking like kayfabe. Apparently, he's even made a couple comments that he feels like he's in the best shape of his life. He's young. He's young in the WWE sense. Hungry. He's new to the company. I could see it kind of happening like this. The match is going. Let's say they give him it's AJ Styles and John Cena. They'll give him at least 20 minutes. We'll say we'll go as far as 25. Somewhere around 18, 19 minutes in, the club finally intervenes after, they've basically torn the fucking house down 3 times over and rebuilt it. And club comes in. John Cena does his, Cena shtick, and he destroys both. But maybe we even get Cena going a little big on something, like AA through a table, sunset flip on the outside. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. And then I could still see he gets back in the ring and Styles is, just getting to his feet. And they pretty much have a clean match from that point on. You could always say, if the club hadn't intervened. Yeah, but I could totally see Styles clash, third Styles clash, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I can see it.
Is Styles clash quickly becoming one of those moves where everybody kicks out of.
I don't know. I see it being guys like Cena and Roman kicking out of it, but I still see him putting away guys, I could see them booking to kick out of it. This is a beautiful image, but The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, first off, The Undertaker's huge. I don't even know if he could hit him with it. But Undertaker.
Yeah, okay.
John Cena.
Okay.
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And after that, you're looking at celebrity part-timers like The Rock and shit. I really don't think there's going to be that many people that kick out of it quite a bit. I mean, they've protected moves in the current era, so to speak, before. I mean, before Neville went out with his ankle?
Yeah, he broke something in his leg when he
Right.
went under Jericho, and screwed up his leg.
Yeah, but think about it. Yeah, he did eat a lot of losses in Raw, but notice how almost every time he got a loss, it was either because someone cheated or because basically he didn't hit the red arrow. They protected the shit out of the red arrow. If he hit that thing, match is over.
And I still think that that's true.
Yep, I think John Cena. Wait, did he ever face John Cena in the Open Challenge thing?
I think Neville faced him in the Open Challenge once.
I think Cena might have kicked out of it, but again, Cena is Cena, and even at this point, I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. John Cena, at this point,
kicks
is sort
out
of
everything.
and it's not even they're overbooking him. It's sort of no, lots of wrestlers have just gotten to a point where kayfabe, it's just that's actually become part of their character. So at this point, it's if it takes 3 or 4, if it takes anything less than 3 finishers to put away John Cena, I'm really blown away, but I'm not really pissed about it anymore either.
Yeah.
But I mean, the list of people who were kicked out of the Red Arrow, non-existent as far as I know. They're going back to protecting, especially with these newer guys, the finishing moves. I mean, like, there are some complaints I can throw here and there. Like, I really think Sami Zayn should be getting a fucking pinfall every once in a while with the damn Blue Thunder Bomb, but that's just me. But I mean, other than Roman, no one's that I can think of, at least on TV or on pay-per-views, kicked out of the Styles Clash. At least in WWE, obviously. So
no, you're forgetting the Jericho. Jericho kicked out of the Styles Clash.
Jericho's a part-time Hall of Famer. He's got the Hall of Fame
I'll
status.
give you that one.
Yeah, he kicks out of finishers all the time. I mean,
that's true.
It's something that people forget. A lot of the part-timers, a lot of the so-called legends and Hall of Famers kick out of finishers all the fucking time. It just usually it'll only take, like, say, 2 finishers as opposed to John Cena's 3 or 4. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you got Jericho, you got Roman. I can see Cena and the other guys I mentioned, Lesnar and Taker. I mean, I don't think Taker will. Taker, no, not a chance in hell. And Lesnar, maybe. I hate to say it.
If Lesnar comes back anytime soon, I've heard that him and Vince are not on very good terms right now, and that kind of led to the whole. He wasn't at the whole absence. Like he wants a lot more money out of Vince. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what goes on with Brock Lesnar.
I still want my Cesaro and or Kevin Owens versus Lesnar match.
That'd be amazing.
I don't know you like that. Like, it's like, what are your dream matches with the current product? Cesaro versus Lesnar or Kevin Owens versus Lesnar? Like, what about all 3 in a triple threat? No, I want both of those matches. I don't need a stipulation. I could just be. They could throw it up on Sci-Fi, and it's like, oh, we're giving Lesnar and Cesaro 20 minutes. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I would love to see Owens and Lesnar. That would be just a fantastic match.
I mean, no offense, I love you, Kevin Owens, but I do think the only person on the roster other than, like, Roman or Cena, reasons that I personally could see, or at this point would I even really want to have beat Brock Lesnar or Cesaro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but, like, I'm just thinking, like, you know, they're rolling each other through, like, German suplexes so many times that it goes to, like, Chaos Theory, and then they're just, like, rolling over and over, and it becomes like a fucking Ouroboros, and they just kill each other, and it's beautiful. And neutralizing Lesnar, but Lesnar, like, jumping backwards out of it and hitting it with an F5, and Cesaro powering out of it.
Oh,
I know, right?
Well, we gotta end the show. I have to go change my pants. No.
It's beautiful, is it not? I feel like I just painted the Sistine Chapel.
It's a very beautiful idea.
Glad you approve.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Spencer Hart approved. But yeah. So the last thing here, of course, going into Money in the Bank. We had some fun on Sunday, didn't we, buddy? Mr. Champion. Yep. For those of you who didn't see the video that Nate the Great posted on our Facebook page, we had a little competition on Sunday. We went to a place called Badger Sports Park in Appleton, Wisconsin, and they have this
go-karts. Sorry.
Go-karts!
I am not sorry. I have not ridden on go-karts since I was like 6. That was just, it's like, oh, this place is cool. Oh, laser tag, that's awesome. Laser maze thing, oh, that's really cool. Oh, look at all these arcade games. Like, oh, wait, mini golf, that's fun. They have go-karts. What?
So the laser
go-karts!
I should specify what happened with the laser maze. So the laser maze,
we could not even with that bullshit.
No. So the laser tag or the laser maze, if you think about like Mission Impossible, like all the lasers leading to the diamond or whatever he's stealing that day. It was essentially that. You had to get to one end of the room, press the button, and make your way back, but without touching the lasers. So Nate's in the room by himself, and we were with some family and friends on Sunday, and my sister looks at me and she says, "You should totally just run through all the lasers right now." And without hesitating, I stand up and bolt into the laser maze.
You are such an ass.
I am, and I ran through every single laser, and I'm pretty sure
major laser.
Yeah, major laser. No, and then Nate Nate hits me with like a Superman punch. He's just like, ah!
Speaking
He's
of
like,
that,
you asshole.
asshole. Speaking of that, though, I was at my Saturday game session on Saturday, and we were talking, and I had to leave the room to go to the bathroom. I come back, and our friend Zach is talking to another guy in the group, Riley, and somewhere along the line, Riley agreed, while I was gone, Riley agreed to let him chop him.
Zach?
Yeah, Zach was gonna chop Riley.
Okay.
So I come back down, like I come down the stairs, and I just see my friend Don, Riley and Zach, they're all standing, and Riley's going like this. Zach cracks him. Like, I heard it across the room, and Riley's just like, ah! And he like shrinks into himself. He goes, that sucked. And I'm like, yeah, imagine if it was for real when you didn't have like a shirt.
Yeah, that's actually
I
hilarious.
just thought of that right there when you said you like Superman punched you. I'm like, I have seen a lot of violence in real life in the past 2 weekends.
But yeah, we went laser tagging on Sunday, and we decided that it was going to be for, we're calling it, what are we calling it? The squared circle?
Squared circle in the bank.
Squared circle in the bank. And guess who won?
God, that is the best friggin'.
Guess who won?
You should have had it for the go-kart race. I would have stomped your ass.
Yeah, stopped your ass. I can't even get into the go-kart, so that's an automatic disqualification.
You were barred from the Money in the Bank match.
Barred! Done!
I kept thinking I was doing really well in that laser tag thing, but then I would go over to like the scoreboard thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm like on the top on my team. No, I'm not. I'm like towards, damn it.
Yep.
And then there's this fucker.
Yep, hello. Only person in the room to hit 10,000 points. You're welcome.
I think you got half that off of me.
Yeah. There was this, we were playing a game mode called Crazy Team Switch. So at random points, random players would change teams. And my Nate was standing right next to me at the time. We were kind of watching each other's back, and Nate, his thing goes to the blue team, and I'm still on the red team. So I turned around, and I'm just sniping him from behind, and he looks up like, where am I being shot from? And he turns around, and there I am like an asshole, just like my gun right against his back, just shooting him. Whoo, we got off the rails. So yes, Max Beatty approved right there.
Yeah, the thumb was out there, so I guess if you went like that.
So any final thoughts heading into Monday Night Raw? What do you think is going to be happening?
Well, I think I think a couple things that have to happen. Like, I do think, obviously Styles is going to address the whole Heyman Cena in the club situation. I mean, he says that in that video. I kind of wish that little backstage clip would have been like on Raw on Monday, but whatever. So that's going to be addressed. I think that all has to be. Since I looked it up, and when you look at the match list, the card for Money in the Bank, when you go to the Money in the Bank ladder match, it still says Sami Zayn versus Cesaro versus Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, Del Rio versus to be determined.
So they are still listing a seventh person.
Yes, so I'm thinking we might see whoever the seventh man is. I mean, because we only have two Raws until Money in the Bank.
Yes. Yeah, 2 more weeks. 2 more Raws anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you and I had talked about this because I had heard rumors that seventh person was supposed to be Cody Rhodes. I don't remember where I heard it from. But I think that's why we still haven't seen that seventh person, is because now they have to rewrite that whole storyline.
Well, I just had a horrible thought. Have you seen the current poster for Money in the Bank?
No.
The current poster for Money in the Bank. I mean, obviously Roman is the champion, so he's on it.
Mm-hmm.
He had the big golden ladder imposed in the background. He's got the title over his shoulder. He's got his Roman Reigns face on. And he's the one holding the briefcase.
Oh.
Obviously, they would never do this in a million years, put the champ in 2 matches in one night, and one of them is for something that could be cashed in on his own title. That would be stupid beyond measure unless they were going to turn him heel, because at that point, holy fuck, that idea. But what I'm trying to say is, Roman's got family.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And the Usos look very similar to each other. And there's a little thing that we haven't heard in WWE
If you say twin
Called-
magic, I will kill you.
called Twin Magic.
Oh!
Or they could just put one of the Usos in there because they're his family.
Right.
Like the Usos, like, hell, maybe they even like, oh, it should be me. It should be me. You face off. I mean, that would be, wow, I wouldn't give two fucks about that match, but I could see them putting Uso in there. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else active in the company that isn't The Rock that's also part of Roman's family?
I don't think so.
I can't think of it.
I'd have to look. But people have been, let's see here. I've heard Bray Wyatt's name come up. I've heard, God, who else have I heard?
I've heard anybody.
Apollo. I've heard Apollo a couple times.
Okay.
But I don't think whoever that seventh person is going to win. I think it's one of the 6 people that are in the Money in the Bank ladder match now are going to be slated to win. Money.
Yeah, go ahead.
My money would be either Sammy or Kevin.
Well, out of the 6 guys we have right now, I know who I would have want to win, and
Sammy.
Hold on. I know who I'd have want to win, and then I also know who I think they might be going with. Who I would want to win is Dean Ambrose.
That's a good point.
Who I think is probably going to win, and I can pin it down to just 2 of the current 6/7 guys. I think it's either going to go to Cesaro or Owens. And I think if it goes to Owens, I think he'll wind up. What'll happen is they'll either keep the belt on Roman after the match with Rollins, so that way Owens is a heel to cash in on him, or somewhere along the line they turn Rollins face, Owens cashes in on him, we get Owens versus Tyler Black, which, God, yes. If they give it to Cesaro, I'm smelling heel turn.
Yeah.
Like I said, who I want to win is Dean Ambrose. What I would love to see is Dean Ambrose. This isn't, this is nothing against you, Roman. It's something, he would say, and he would mean it sincerely. And I'm saying keep him face throughout all of this, because you've got, that way, for fuck's sake, you have all the alignments covered. Roman's a tweener, Rollins is a heel, Dean's a face. He pulls what Seth Rollins did, middle of their match, but he pins Rollins specifically and makes a show of pinning Rollins.
See, that could make sense. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Because then it's like, oh, you want to pull that kind of shit on someone else after you've stabbed both of us in the back? Roman, this isn't about you. I'm sorry. Boom! Cashes in. Beats Seth down. Beats Seth down. Beats Seth down. Dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. He stands over Seth. Revenge pretty much complete. And then first thing he does, obviously Rollins would segue himself into this, but on Raw, he says, Roman, my brother, you want your rematch, take it whenever you want. Seth segues himself in. Triple threat.
Triple threat at SummerSlam.
Here's the thing. I actually could see them doing that. That's not even me saying that, I really want that to happen. I could see him doing it, but I just see Owens or Cesaro as being more likely right now. Possibly Sammy is like a third, but
Sammy might be a little bit more of a long shot.
What do you think? Who do you think they'll pick, and who would you want?
I mean, I would certainly want Dean Ambrose to win. I mean, the storyline is there, especially with with Rollins' return. I know Jericho won't win. Now, the 7th person.
Yeah.
We should talk about this too. Is it too far-fetched to think that Neville could make a quick comeback and enter himself in the Money in the Bank ladder match?
For me personally, if you were just taking like personal time or whatever, or if we just simply hadn't seen him on TV for a while, I can see it. Whenever an injury gets involved, especially to the head or legs, that's kind of where I'm like, I don't like to push it on that one, so I kind of immediately shuffle them to the side a bit.
Right.
Like, for example, if Rollins had fucked up his knee, say, 3-4 months ago, it's like, oh, you think Rollins would, could be selected for the Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It's obviously been longer than 3 or 4 months for Neville, but I don't see it personally.
See, I would have said Cena, would be the 7th man until his match with AJ Styles.
Like I said, I personally didn't. I mean, I always kind of thought that it could be a possibility, but I never really thought, okay, they're definitely totally going to put Cena in it. No.
Right.
I think even WWE thinks maybe they might have backfired a bit with that. Just because they never bring up him winning Money in the Bank, and they never bring up his loss. They never bring up any of that. Like, after a couple months, it's like, oh. And in any of the Money in the Bank video packages that have been airing the last couple weeks, nothing on it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's because, oh, wow, we realized we just had fucking Superman lose on a cash-in. It was either that or they kind of felt it was a dub themselves, you know? So I think maybe they want a distance from it. And I do think right now what they're doing is a great fit for him, so no worries there.
Yeah. AJ Cena is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a good idea.
What's that?
Someone else who could be the 7th guy. Just obviously this is fantasy booking here, but one of the 2 guys from the club, the first 2, tag team, they go in, they win it, I guess I'm the number 1 contender. Oh, wait, they basically set it up, like, AJ, we're going to have a match with the briefcase on the line, and he lays down for AJ. AJ's already healed, so it would fit with their tactics. It shows unity between them. It basically goes, hey, the way they were talking in their promos, they kind of, without really directly acknowledge the fact that, yeah, they're AJ's boys, they're his friends, they're his partners. They're not the leader. And they seem completely fine with that. Yeah, that's just how this works. So I can see them doing that, or just straight up giving it to him, like, here, this is yours, man. I got it for you. Cashes in on Roman at some point. We get another Styles Roman match, except this time AJ straight up wrestles completely 100% heel. Gets some help from the club, the Usos. You kind of get a repeat of what we've already seen before, but with AJ being more aggressive, hitting more aggressive bumps, different psychology. If heel shenanigans, he retains it twice over.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not entirely convinced that there's going to be a 7th person, because Morrow did announce on SmackDown that 4 of the 6 Money in the Bank participants would be in action.
And he said 4 of the 6, not current 6, or 4 of soon to be 7.
Right. He just said 4 of the 6.
Okay, maybe in that case, and wow, it's kind of telling of the current quality of the announced teams that it's because you said it came from Morrow, I immediately trusted it.
Yeah.
It's just, they could do a 6-man Money in the Bank. I wouldn't necessarily, because the current lineup for that match is, the only one I'm kind of on is Del Rio, but that's just because part of me, like half a percentage of me, could see them running with him, going with it, him winning. But at the same time, I don't think the other 99.5 doesn't, and he's a pretty reliable hand in ladder matches. So I'm fine with the current setup. He's a fine hand at this stuff. Jericho, do I need to say more? And then there's the other guys. It's going to be a great match as it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm actually looking forward to Money in the Bank. Cena Styles, that Money in the Bank match, Rollins Roman. And before that, Take Over the End. Those are 2 back-to-back pretty stellar cards from WWE. So,
yeah. I've always said that I'm shocked that Money in the Bank is not one of the top 4 or one of the main 4. Because Money in the Bank is the big draw, I think, of the year. Because Money in the Bank is, it has implications that can last almost an entire year.
Don't get me wrong. Part of me still wants them to go back to having that on another pay-per-view.
At WrestleMania, yeah.
Or at least one of the big 4. You couldn't really do it at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. WrestleMania, because, there's no directly tied in stipulation or gimmick to those pay-per-views. And SummerSlam is basically the number 2. Oh, no, it's Survivor Series, no WWE. It's SummerSlam. Stop lying to me. Survivor Series used to be number 2, 15 years ago.
Yeah. You just look at Survivor Series from last year.
Do we have to?
Nah, kind of.
No. I refuse. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Hey, thank you, Adam Savage. So, but yeah, Money in the Bank, because it adds, for the rest of the time that briefcase is out there, it adds that intrigue of, is tonight the night? Is tonight the night? It adds that suspense that we don't get a lot of the time before Money in the Bank or after it's been cashed in.
And speaking of that, it's not the only. Because remember, Lucha Underground, Cage cashed in and failed with his shot, and according to commentary, they're going to be starting that shit all over pretty soon. So we get Money in the Bank, and we get Gift to the Gods. Oh god.
Oh god. Overload.
And then there's Takeover at the end. Well, spread my ashes over Full Sail, y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, buddy.
Hey, I can think of worse ways to go out than death by excellent wrestling. How'd you die? I was murdered. I was killed in war. I died from wrestling overload. Oh, nice, bro.
Any final thoughts, buddy, heading into Monday Night Raw and TakeOver?
Let's see. For TakeOver, I'm just plain excited. I'm just straight up. I mean,
I think the intrigue of NXT TakeOver is always exciting.
It's weird, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've loved the last two segments that they did with Balor and Joe. I mean, those were phenomenal, especially the interview segment this past Wednesday. Personally, looking the most forward to is Nakamura Aries. Because, I mean, I've stated before that I like Austin Aries, but I'm not really a fan. I think he's a great wrestler. I'm just not that into him. But anyone who's on his level or better versus Nakamura, I'm fucking sold at this point. I mean, I know I'm kind of a bandwagoner with Nakamura. I've only been aware of him for a year, but still, I don't care. As for Raw, I just want to get an explanation for AJ Styles, the whole why he did this. Aside from that, if they're going to run with 7 people, I'd like to know who the 7th person is, at least maybe announce what the final qualifying match will be next week. That'd be cool. I kind of hope they don't just throw someone into it. Let's see. I think aside from that, make the video see your 3 hours, do something with your roster other than that isn't named Roman, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I just want to figure out if there's gonna be 7 people or 6 in Money in the Bank. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, just have a good show. I mean, it's getting to a point where watching Raw is like hit and miss. You're either gonna get a really good show, or you're just gonna get this dumpster fire. Raw will certainly be interesting this week. So. All right, buddy. Well, that's going to do it for the Squared Circle podcast on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Player.fm, PodDirectory.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn Radio, and on Turnbuckle Productions on YouTube, also IWNerd.com. We'll be back in a couple days with AJ and Chris from Smart Money Podcast to do our NXT TakeOver predictions for the Central Wisconsin Wrestling Podcast Tag Team Championships. That'll be fun because I know where my allegiances lie. All right, guys. We'll see you in a few days.